Your role is not just to sell and peddle policy, it's to challenge the preconceived notions our prospects have. You have to be bold in times when boldness is required. This is one of those circumstances where somebody thinks they have enough. You have to at least challenge them on their premise. I'm not saying you have to force them to buy. It's every man and woman's choice to decide if they need this or not. We respect their autonomy to make those decisions, freedom to, whether they're good or bad decisions. But you have an obligation, a moral obligation, to inform these people exactly what the situation is and what happens if they're not in the situation of being adequately protected. That is the least that you're required to do, in my opinion. You want to walk away from all of these calls knowing that you tried everything in your might, short of forcing them, to see reality as it is and to plan accordingly with the appropriate amount of coverage. If you don't do that, you're doing them a disservice. Me personally, I feel like listening to this, I did them a disservice, because as soon as it got disturbing or uncomfortable for me, I backed off. I really didn't push. And this doesn't happen all the time, guys, but you're going to run into these deals where you feel in your heart of hearts, man, it's important that they do this. It's important that they look at this. It's important that they think twice about what they think is real. And that's your obligation. It's your duty to do that. Again, what you have to decide and realize is that you might be the last agent they ever see. And what you do or don't do may be the last opportunity to help that family. And if it was an agent in your mom's home and they were faced with kind of a similar situation, how would you want them to respond and react? Because we know you're not going to aggress them. We know that you're not going to harm them or do any bad things to them. We're not going to do that. We're good people. But that doesn't mean that we take their preconceived notions as gospel truth. We have to challenge it. So this is one of those opportunities I feel like the client was holding something back, but I only have the ability to think that way based off of the conclusion. In the process of doing the presentation, we don't know that. But what we do know is, are we following our script? Are we doing everything that we're supposed to do to make something out of this? And listening to this, I don't think I did. I should have at least said, you know, the inflation stuff. I should have pleaded with her that you're wrong on the 5,000. It's okay to call say, I mean, with all due respect, Mrs. Luis, but you're wrong. 5,000 is not enough. And I'm going to explain to you why. Everybody else is going to just say, okay, sure, whatever, but I care. You need to be more protected. I should have hit harder on the more fact-based in explaining how work. I should have hit where it hurts on what would happen and what's going on and why she would want to buy from somebody who lied to her. And all it takes is a quick look at the policy to make sure it's good.